You just clicked because you're tired. Not just physically tired, that deep, draining, I've slept 8 hours and I'm still exhausted, kind of tired. And here's the thing nobody tells you. The solution was discovered thousands of years ago by Incan warriors, by Chinese emperors, by Himalayan monks. Today, I'm giving you 10 ancient superfoods that don't just boost your energy, they actually restore it. But stay until the end. Because number 5, that one is genuinely shocking. And most people have never even heard of it. The problem with energy. Today, let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly energized? Not coffee-wired, not energy drink jittery, actually alive. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Here's what's actually happening inside your body. Every time you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. And cortisol is a thief. It steals your energy. It crashes your hormones. It destroys your sleep. And here's the kicker. Most energy solutions make this worse. Caffeine, pre-workouts, sugar. They hit you with fake energy and then leave you more depleted than before. What if I told you there was a completely different way? Not stimulation, restoration. Let's start with the most powerful one. Ashwagandha. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I've heard of that. But do you know why it works? This herb has been used for over 3,000 years in Ayurveda, and its actual name in Sanskrit, Varada, which means bestower of boons, essentially, the gift giver. Here's what it does inside your body. You have something called the HPA axis. Think of it as your body's energy control center. When you're chronically stressed, that control center gets broken. Cortisol spikes. Your mitochondria, your actual energy factories, start shutting down. Ashwagandha fixes the control center. It doesn't give you fake energy. It removes the thing stealing your energy. Clinical trials using the KSM-66 extract at 600 ml a day showed better sleep quality, improved cardio endurance, VO2 max, faster muscle recovery. And right now, Ashwagandha holds a 26% share of the entire US adaptogen market. That's not a trend. That's a revolution. But here's where it gets interesting. Because ashwagandha is just the beginning. The next one on this list was used exclusively by emperors. Panax ginseng, 5,000 years old, found in the mountains of Manchuria. And for a long time, ordinary people weren't allowed to have it. It was reserved for Chinese emperors only. Because they believed it restored your qi, your vital life force. Now science has caught up. The active compounds are called ginsenosides, and they do something fascinating. You know that burning feeling in your muscles when you push hard? That's lactic acid buildup. Ginseng helps your body clear that lactic acid faster, so your energy lasts longer. Your recovery is quicker. It also improves how your body uses glucose, which means your cells always have fuel to burn. The global adaptogen market is worth $11.92 billion USD, and ginseng, right at the center of it. Maca root, the Incan warrior fuel. Okay, this one comes with a story. Before battle, Incan warriors were fed maca root, not given weapons, not trained harder, fed, because in the Andes, they knew your energy starts in your nutrition. Maca comes from the mountains of Peru. It's been cultivated for 2,000 years. And here's what's wild. It doesn't contain any hormones, but it talks to the glands that make your hormones, specifically your hypothalamus and pituitary gland. It's like sending a message to your body's command center. Hey, wake up, we're ready to go. It's packed with magnesium, iron, zinc, B vitamins, the kind of nutrition your modern diet is quietly missing. Most people say they feel the difference after 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. Smoother energy, less afternoon crashes, better mood. That's not a stimulant, that's restoration. Now, if maca is the slow build, the next one is more like rocket fuel for your cells. Shilajit, the Himalayan tar that supercharges your mitochondria. Okay, this is the one I promised you. Shilajit. It looks like black tar. It oozes out of rocks in the Himalayas and Altai mountains. and it has been used in Ayurveda as a rasayana, a rejuvenator, for centuries. But here's what science found. Shilajit is up to 80% fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is like a delivery truck for your cells. It carries minerals, nutrients, and energy directly across your cell membrane. And it does something almost no other substance does. It works directly on your electron transport chain. That's the process inside your mitochondria that makes ATP. ATP is literally the currency of energy in your body. More ATP, more energy. Simpler than that. There's also early research showing it may protect your brain from tau protein buildup. That's the same protein linked to cognitive decline. Now here's the dark side. The US market for Shilajit is being flooded with fakes, counterfeit resins, heavy metal contamination, lead, mercury, arsenic. If you're going to try it, look for third-party tested, purified resin. Brands like Perblack or Symbiotica, not random Amazon listings. This one is powerful, but it has to be real. Cordyceps, the performance mushroom. Here's a fact that will mess with your head. Cordyceps is a fungus, but not just any fungus. It grows on insect larvae, high up on the Tibetan plateau. Monks discovered it when they noticed their yaks grazing on it became unusually energetic. In traditional Chinese medicine, it was prescribed to restore the kidneys and lungs. Today, athletes use it before competition. The reason is something called cordycepin. It activates a pathway called AMPK, basically the master switch of cellular energy. It also improves your VO2 max, how efficiently your body uses oxygen. Think about that. More oxygen efficiency, more sustained energy, better performance, and faster recovery, less lactic acid, lower fatigue markers in blood tests. Cordyceps is a major player in the functional mushroom space, projected to grow at a CAGR of 11.8% through 2030. You'll find it in mushroom coffee, pre-workouts, and capsule stacks. But here's the truth most people miss about these superfoods. Some of them work fast, some take weeks. Knowing which is which could save you a lot of frustration. I'll break that down after this next one. Rhodiola. Rosea, the Arctic shield. Rhodiola, used for centuries in Russia, Siberia, and Scandinavia, even documented by the Greek physician Dioscorides in 77 AD. Here's why it's different from everything else. Most energy supplements work on one thing. Rhodiola works on three. First, it regulates serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, so you feel more focused, more alert, less burned out. Second, it increases ATP synthesis in your mitochondria. Third, and this is the wild one, it helps your body adapt to hypoxia, low oxygen environments. That's why mountaineers and high-altitude athletes rely on it. Clinical trials, double-blind, placebo-controlled. Healthcare workers on night shifts showed significantly reduced fatigue. Basketball players showed improved sprint performance in 7 to 28 days. Real results. Fast enough to feel. One warning though. Wild rhodiola was added to the CITES endangered list in 2023 from overharvesting. If you're buying it, choose brands sourcing from sustainable farms in Alaska or Canada. Alright, pause. Because I promised you clarity on this. Here's the honest timeline. Fast, under 30 minutes. Cacao medium, 1-7 days. Ginseng, rhodiola, chia seeds, slow but deep, 2 to 4 weeks. Ashwagandha, maca, Shilajit, Moringa, the slow ones. Those aren't less powerful. They're just building something more permanent. Don't quit after 3 days because you don't feel it. The restoration is happening underneath. Give it time. Now, the last 3 are ones most people overlook completely, and one of them might already be in your kitchen. Spirulina, the Aztec multivitamin. Spirulina. The Aztecs harvested it from Lake Texcoco. They pressed it into cakes and sold it at markets. The Kanembu people of Lake Chad have used it for centuries. Here's what makes it special. Spirulina is up to 70% complete protein. That means all essential amino acids in a single food. But the real energy secret is in its iron. You know how spinach is famous for iron? Here's the problem. Spinach contains oxalates that block iron absorption. Spirulina's iron, absorbed directly, highly bioavailable. For anyone dealing with low iron, and millions of people quietly are, that alone can completely transform your energy levels. There's also a compound called phycocyanin. That's the blue pigment that gives spirulina its color. It's a powerful antioxidant that protects your body's energy reserves from chronic inflammation. The North American spirulina market is projected to hit $392 million USD by 2031. In 2025, brands are already launching spirulina-based smoked salmon alternatives and high-potency liquid extracts. This is going mainstream fast. Cacao. Energy without the crash. Now for something you've probably eaten this week. Cacao. The Aztecs called it theobroma, food of the gods. They used it in sacred rituals and as currency. But here's what no one tells you about cacao versus caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. Hit hard, crash hard. The main active compound in raw cacao is theobromine. Half-life, about 10 hours. It blocks adenosine, the tiredness signal in your brain, just like caffeine, but way more gently, way more steadily. And cacao flavonoids stimulate nitric oxide production, which relaxes your blood vessels, which means more oxygen to your brain, more oxygen to your muscles, better focus, better performance, no jitter. This is why ceremonial cacao has blown up in wellness spaces, not trendy health nonsense, actual ancient technology. Moringa, the 300 disease tree. Last one, and this one might surprise you most. Moringa, called the miracle tree across Ayurveda and Unani medicine, traditionally used to treat over 300 conditions. The reason it's so powerful for energy, it doesn't stimulate you, it corrects what's broken, specifically glucose regulation. Most afternoon energy crashes, caused by blood sugar swings. Moringa's isothiocyanates improve glucose tolerance. They smooth out those spikes and crashes. It also contains quercetin and camphorol, two of the most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds in nature. Inflammation is a silent energy thief. Moringa shuts it down. The US is already the largest moringa market in North America, over 75% of regional sales. 3 groups drive demand: athletes, working professionals, and aging adults. Kuli Kuli, a major US moringa brand, is now in mainstream supermarkets. This isn't fringe anymore. This is the future of energy. Alright, let's bring it home. We covered 10 ancient superfoods that actually restore energy instead of just borrowing it from tomorrow. Quick recap. Ashwagandha fixes your stress response at the root. Ginseng clears lactic acid, feeds your cells. Maca talks to your hormonal command center. Chia seeds stabilizes glucose, hydrates you deeply. Shilajit turbocharges your mitochondria. Just buy it pure. Cordyceps activates your cellular energy switch. Rhodiola shields your nervous system from burnout. Spirulina, the most complete food on this list. Cacao, smooth energy with zero crash. Moringa corrects what's silently draining you. Now here's the thing. Alright, that's it for today. This is just one part of what we're building on Verdant Harvest, and there's more ahead. So make sure you're subscribed, like, and share. And go ahead, click the video on your screen. That's the next move. I'll see you there.